Welcome back. We're continuing our focus on Nigeria at 57, and this time we have in the studio here in Lagos architect Nya-Etok, who is also the Director General of Nigeria First Project. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, Nigeria at 57.
Yes.
Tell us, how did you celebrate your independence? Meanwhile, happy independence.
Oh, same to you. First, happy independence to Nigerians. I actually didn't have the liberty of celebrating the independence because first I went to a church, and incidentally in the church, instead of the conventional preaching, Trinity House, the pastor, Pastor Yodalo Itwa, turned it into something very interesting. He was asking questions about Nigeria, and I happened to be one of those he asked, is Nigeria a nation? And what is a nation? And it was talking about actualizing our potentials. So we started from there. And it was a very interesting discourse because members of the church were asked the first question, is Nigeria a nation? Yes or no? What is a nation? You know, and the answers were very instructive. And I wish it was a national transmitted program. At the end of the day, I had to let us know that Nigeria is a nation. Because when you talk in terms of nationhood, it has to do with certain cords that bind. What are the cords that bind us? Is it the culture? Is it a tradition? Is it a common purpose? Do we really have any commonality thing that binds us together as a people? So from that church, we now went into series of meetings upon meetings upon meetings till I had to beg to sleep off so as to wake up by 5 o'clock and try to be here. And I'm happy to be here. So there are certain things. Let me give a context to 57. 57 is not just an ordinary number. I'm 53. No, not really 53. November 1, I'll be 54. So I'm almost 54. And I stand here not just as a man, not just as a married man, not just as a parent, but as a grandfather. At 53 or 54, it means that at 57, all things being equal, I may end up having 2, 3 grandchildren. So at 57, Nigeria is not a child. Nigeria is a potential grandfather, maybe not great-grandfather. If you're a great-grandfather, it means you did something bad when you were still in secondary school. But it's a serious number. And that's the first thing. The second thing is that yesterday reinforced my faith in what I've always believed, that this country is a client nation for God. There's something about Nigeria that even most of our leaders don't understand. For lesser crimes or issues, countries have disintegrated. We knew what happened about the quit notice on October 1, and you know, it just came and went as if nothing happened. Third term came and went as if nothing happened. Sani Abacha came and went as if nothing happened. Abiola died and it went as if nothing happened. 2015 came and went as if nothing happened. Let's do a study. Let's have an analysis. Let's have a proper synthesis of this country called Nigeria. There is something about Nigeria.
When you say nothing
the earthquakes, look at the last stuff that happened in US. It started from the West African coast and just vented its anger there. What if it was the reverse? What natural disasters have we had? What volcanic eruptions have we had? What, what all these things that happen and countries are washed away, and then come to the soil that we have, natural resources in every nook and cranny of the state, every local government. Look at the soil we have. Some places have to consult the gods for a seed sown to be grown. In ours, our soil is a problem because you eat your mango and throw it. The next time you come, the thing is growing and it's like, what's wrong with this stuff? You know? So Nigeria is a study that we must undertake.
Okay. Now, you mentioned some things have come and gone.
Yes.
Your words. For lesser issues, countries
other
have disintegrated.
Exactly.
Now, some of these issues that you've mentioned and persons that have come and gone. Yes, they've come and gone, but they left behind in their wake some issues, some remnant of things that are causing friction here and there. Are those things being tackled even as we celebrate 57? Or are we still looking for a bigger way to tackle what some might say are little issues?
Yeah, you know the Bible says, shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? The grace of God has been mighty on this country, but for how long are we going to keep pushing it? And for that reason, I think there's something that is starting to brew, something that is starting. The discussions I've had in the past 3 weeks from all sections of this country shows me that there's something the Bible says about the sons of Issachar that could discern the signs of the times. There's something happening in Nigeria that people have not really come to terms with. People are starting to, let me tell you what has happened in the past, which is getting different this time. You know, in the past, we've had certain distractions, certain lingos, certain attitudes that has kept us in a vicious cycle. Why don't we ask ourselves, why have we been in this vicious cycle? What is the problem? Nigeria is one of the most cerebral countries I've met in the whole world. We have some of the most intelligent. I've traveled. I keep saying that I've traveled the world. And there's no country that I've gone to, and I've gone to very many countries, that once you say, I'm a Nigerian, people don't like, we need to be careful with this guy. Because Nigerians are smart. Nigerians are daring. Nigerians are known. We occupy some of the most exalted institutions of learning in the world, okay? So the question is, how come that at home, how come that the Bible talks about slaves on horseback and princes walking? Why is that so? Is it a curse? We have some of the most intelligent, some of the brightest, and yet in this country, do an analysis of all your governors. Start there. Go into the Senate. Do an analysis of all the senators, National Assembly, State Houses of Assembly. Who are the people there? With all due respect, there are some very decent people there. With all due respect, there are some very, very cerebral, decent people there. But how many of them, what percentage do we have in that category? So we are starting to tell Nigerians, please wake up. Do you know what we do? We sit in the comfort of our homes and we go on the social media and talk. I've taken part in politics. Okay, I lived in Lagos for 30 years. People don't know that. And then I left to in 2007 to contest the governorship of Akwa Ibom State, after which I relocated to Abuja. So I have been a private citizen. I've never held any public office in my life. Never, never, never. Anything I do is strictly voluntary, committee and all those things. But paying, I've never, for personal reasons.